Well, good afternoon, and thanks for watching THV 11 News at Noon. I'm Amanda Jaeger here, in for Michael Aaron with meteorologist Scott Covert. And Scott, we saw a few drops of rain out there this morning here in downtown Little Rock. Are we going to see that continue today?
Very spotty and generally pretty light. Sprinkles for the most part. And yes, we are going to see that chance for the next few hours. Here's radar right now, and you can see the capital city, the metro, pretty much in a lull at the moment. Off to our east in places such as Jefferson County, Pine Bluff, the northwest, northeast side of town there. Seeing some light rain as this continues to drift off towards the north and east. Stuttgart, Humphrey, likely seeing a little bit of sprinkles here at the noon hour. Back off to our west, that's where the actual front is that's responsible for these showers. It continues its track off towards the east, and for that reason, we'll keep the chance of rain in your forecast through about 4 or 5 o'clock this evening. It's a windy day, gusting as high as 24 in Little Rock, about 20 sustained out of the southwest. It is a breezy afternoon. It'll probably stay that way for a while. Temperatures nice and toasty by December standards anyways. 70 currently in Little Rock, 71 in Hot Springs and Arkadelphia. We'll see that thermometer climb a few more degrees before hitting our afternoon high. Mostly cloudy skies throughout the rest of this afternoon. We'll start to see those clouds clear a bit overnight tonight. Better chances of storms tomorrow. Another shot at storms, potentially some severe weather yet again on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, followed by some much colder temperatures. Winter is in fact coming. We'll take a look at that forecast here coming right up.
With millions of Americans traveling home from the holidays, the CDC is taking steps which could help airlines keep up with their flight schedules. Deborah Alfarone has more details from the White House.
The CDC is shortening the amount of time people have to quarantine after getting COVID.
The data suggests that with Omicron, you're most infectious a day or two before you get sick and for the first day or two after you've gotten sick.
The new guidance allows asymptomatic patients to only isolate for 5 days instead of 10. They should continue to wear a mask for another 5 days around others, and a negative test is not required to end isolation. Some have criticized the decision to not require a negative test.
CDC makes guidance and recommendations in the real world, not the world that we wish existed. And right now, there aren't enough tests.
The airline industry pushed for the changes because it's having problems staffing flights. Several hundred more flights have been canceled today. But the head of the flight attendants union slammed the new guidance, saying if any business pressures a worker to return before they feel better, it will cause much greater disruption than any staffer shortages. Dr. Anthony Fauci, the White House's chief medical advisor, suggested over the weekend that vaccine mandates for airline passengers should be considered. He's now walking back those comments.
Right now, I don't think people should expect that we're going to have a requirement in domestic flights for people to be vaccinated.
Meanwhile, the CDC says it is actively investigating or observing 68 cruise ships following COVID-19 outbreaks on board. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
Well, the CDC says it investigates or observes a cruise ship if cases are reported for more than 10% of its passengers or a single crew member in the previous 7 days. Here in Arkansas, yesterday's COVID numbers indicate a lot of new cases will indeed arrive this week. 981 new cases were reported. That's a big number for a Monday and comes on the heels of a couple big days late last week. And it's probably a sign that many people started to show symptoms over the weekend and just couldn't wait until the work week. The number of hospital patients is back above 500, 188 of them in the ICU. Now keep in mind that is only 30% of the number of patients we saw this summer. COVID is not stressing hospitals right now, but we do have to wait on Omicron. And as the Omicron variant continues to spread across the country, the Arkansas Department of Health is now confirming 63 cases of it in our state. It's a growing concern because ADH says they don't have the proper treatment for Omicron like they do for the Delta variant right now. And medical experts still haven't confirmed whether or not the Omicron variant is as severe as Delta.
This is a little bit worrisome because even though it appears that not as higher proportion of the people who get the Omicron variant end up in the hospital, the sheer numbers can greatly increase our hospitalization.
But many people aren't taking chances and are making sure they are helping keep themselves and loved ones safe by getting tested. New at noon, Dollar General is set to build a distribution center in North Little Rock. According to Arkansas Business, the City Council approved the resolution to allow the $140 million warehouse at a meeting last night. The site would reportedly be near an Amazon fulfillment center on Highway 70 and would be one of Dollar General's fresh market designs, which includes cold storage and better food offerings. The project is estimated to create at least 300 jobs and would offer, quote, strong wages. We're going to have more on that announcement and what it will mean for the city tonight at 5 and 6. The holiday shopping season is almost over, and we are getting a better idea of just how much people spent this year. And to almost no one's surprise, shoppers spent more money this year compared to last, according to a new spending report. It found that sales rose 8.5% in 2021, with electronics, jewelry, and clothing being this year's hottest gifts. Analysts say it's a sign consumers have no issue spending despite the pandemic. And we know it's the thought that counts, right? But some holiday gifts still fall a little short of expectations. So if you are looking to return some presents that maybe missed the mark, there are a few things you should know. Bradley Blackburn shares some tips with us this afternoon.
Despite good intentions, the season of giving is sometimes followed by the rush to return.
Oh, it's not really my style. It's my go-to thing to be like, no.
I might as well try and get it within the window so I can at least get a gift card back to that store.
Many large chains like Macy's, Home Depot, Target, and Bed Bath & Beyond have a 90-day return policy for most items. Consumer Reports money and tech reporter Octavio Blanco says this year retailers took into account widespread shipping delays.
Most stores are going to offer more generous return guidelines for holiday purchases because of the challenges that the consumer has had in terms of getting their purchases delivered on time.
E-commerce giant Amazon provides labels for mail-in returns or accepts items at 18,000 drop-off locations. Many shoppers heeded the warning to get those holiday gifts early this year, but that could be a problem for some returns.
If you did your shopping early, good for you, but make sure that you understand that you may not qualify for the extended shopping returns.
To make returns as smooth as possible, keep the original packaging intact, especially for electronics. Hold on to gift receipts or you may be stuck with the lowest sale price for the item. Check return policies and time limits, and bring ID. Some chains check for return policy abuse. Another option for unloading unwanted presents, regifting.
I had a gift regifted to me from my sister that my mom had given her. Got to be careful when you regift.
Experts say it's also a good time to practice gratitude, no matter what was in the box. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
If you shopped at a mom and pop, experts say just give them a call to find out about their return policy and see if there's any wiggle room. And according to Consumer Reports, electronics retailers like Apple and Best Buy had the most stringent return policies. Well, it is 12:08 and it's the final week of the year, and the most important one for Razorback fans, it's Outback Bowl week. Hog fans haven't just waited all year for this. They've honestly waited 5 years for the Razorbacks to be back in a bowl. The team landing in Tampa on Sunday, and now they're getting ready to roll for Saturday's matchup with Penn State. Now comes the practices, the festivities, and the cross fingers that this one actually happens. The team won't be alone. The Sunshine State is about to meet Razorback Nation.
The Outback Bowl people, one of the questions they want to know, will Razorback fans travel? Well, we've sold all of our tickets. Every single flight that week out of the state of Arkansas is sold out, going to any of the connectors, Dallas, Atlanta, Charlotte, trying to get to Tampa. The hotel rooms in Tampa are sold out. I think we answered the question, will Razorback fans travel? Absolutely, they will.
Will be going out Friday night. They're not going to be going out Friday night, rather. You would imagine that. I mean, it's despite being New Year's Eve and everything. New Year's Day is bowl time. They got to be ready. The game is on ESPN2, but you'll be able to catch all the highlights and post-game reaction right here on THV 11. And we're getting you ready for all the action on Friday during our Touchdown in Tampa 30-minute special. So don't miss that. It's Friday night at 6:30.